made my original video because I wanted to shed some light on what it's actually like to have COVID-19 for people who don't know anyone who has had it. And some of the reactions I've gotten are wild. People have come back. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. I made a video during my 4th week of recovery from coronavirus that has blown up. People have been commenting and asking questions non-stop, and I'll be answering some of the most popular questions in this update. And finally, I'll address some comments I've received from internet trolls, conspiracy theorists, and just plain deniers. Some of them are pretty funny. Some of them are also kind of terrifying. Most of the reactions that I've gotten are very supportive, but some of the reactions are wild. Before I go on, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and ding the bell. Okay, let's go. By far, the most popular question I've received is, what is your blood type? And I'm embarrassed to say I actually have no idea what my blood type is. So I ordered one of these Eldoncard Blood Typing Kits off of Amazon. It was only about $25 Canadian, so like $18 US. So we're gonna find out my blood type right now. Okay, I have just tested my blood and turns out I am A positive. Another really popular question I've gotten is, how are your vitamin D levels? So originally I would answer this question with, well, my vitamin D levels must be fine because I just spent the entire winter sailing around the Caribbean on a cruise ship, spending at least 2 hours a day in the sun. But then I started getting replies from people telling me that that doesn't necessarily mean that my vitamin D levels are good. Apparently people can be vitamin D deficient no matter how much sun they get. So maybe mine are low? It's possible for sure. I'm not ruling anything out, and I plan to get my vitamin D levels tested as soon as possible. Another really popular question I got was, did you take any medication while you were recovering, or did you go to the hospital? The only medication that I took was extra strength Tylenol to get my fever down and to deal with all of my various body aches and pains. I had a doctor and a nurse call me every day to monitor my symptoms. Another one. Did you regain your sense of taste and smell? Yes! After 10 weeks, I finally got my sense of taste and smell back. I would say that after 5 weeks, they were at about 60%, and they came back gradually over time, and now I can taste and smell everything. But I've had a lot of comments from people who are at week 12, 14, 15, and they still can't taste or smell anything. So I recognize that I'm very lucky and that this isn't the case for everybody. I've got a lot of very different kinds of questions about, are your fatigue levels low? Did you have any symptoms return? And what was your last symptom? My last symptom was definitely chronic fatigue. Although I gotta say that my fatigue levels are pretty close to normal now. I would say that I'm functioning at about 95% of my normal levels, which is good. My athletic stamina is still nowhere near what it used to be. I'm actually working on a little project for July to get my endurance back up to where it was pre-COVID, so stay tuned for that. And luckily I haven't had any returning symptoms. But again, I've gotten so many comments from people who had symptoms for a few weeks and then they went away and then they returned and then they went away. What I'm learning is that COVID-19 can really screw with you mentally. You'll think you're getting better and you'll feel like you're getting worse, then better, then worse, and it's hard to tell unless you're being tested all the time if you're getting the virus again. They don't know if that's even possible. So yeah, no returning symptoms, but again, I'm super lucky and it all depends. I've also had a few people ask if I've had any tests done to gauge any permanent damage from my recovery from COVID-19. People have asked about lung x-rays or heart tests or antibody testing, and I think that probably everyone who's recovered from COVID-19 will likely be getting these kinds of tests in the next 12 months or so to gauge whether we have any lung scarring, heart damage, and to test whether we have antibodies that make us immune to the virus. I get a different answer from every person I ask, so no one can tell me with any certainty that I will not get the virus again. I'm still being incredibly careful. These are some of the funniest questions I've gotten. Do you think the cruise industry can come back from this? I will preface this by saying that I am totally grateful to the cruise ship industry. They provide a lot of steady work for a lot of performers, and objectively, I do hope that the cruise ship industry can recover. However, having lived on a cruise ship and understanding the close quarters and the way that people have to live on a ship, I really don't know if it can come back safely until there is a vaccine. That's just my opinion, but also I'm totally biased because I caught it from a cruise ship. So I suppose it'll just depend on everyone's comfort level going forward. Hopefully, is my answer. Are your dogs okay? My dogs are good. They didn't get the virus. I don't know if dogs can get COVID-19. Again, you get a different answer every single person you ask, but my dogs are happy and healthy, and they were lovely companions during my recovery. Did the cruise ship have 5G? Number one, cruise ships are notorious for having the worst Wi-Fi you could ever imagine. And two, I'm gonna catch some heat for this, but 5G does not cause COVID-19. So yeah, no 5G on the ship. What was the nasal swab like? I think that everyone who thinks they might have COVID-19 absolutely should get tested. So I'm hesitant to answer this question honestly, but I will. The nasal swab is not fun. It's a Q-tip, longer than this pen, that they insert down your nasal passages. Then what they have to do is twist it to get your sample. I was very, very, very symptomatic and sick when I had my test done, so I remember it being awful. But I think if you're prepared, it shouldn't be that bad. I also have a friend who's a doctor who does these tests all the time, and he says that most doctors have a very nice, gentle touch, and sometimes you can barely feel it. I must have had an angry one. But yeah, it's not fun, but you should still get it. And to cap it all off, my favorite question that I've gotten is, do you think your symptoms were mild or severe? 2 months ago, I would have told you that my symptoms were severe. However, after posting this video and reading so many people's comments and stories about their experiences or experiences with family members, it's given me a lot of perspective. And I think that my case was probably somewhere closer to mild or moderate. I felt horrible for a long time, but I did recover and all of my symptoms are gone. So yeah, I get that I'm super lucky. Now, trolls. Unfortunately, one of the consequences of putting your story out there is that some people really won't receive it well. Luckily, I'm a singer and an actor. I deal with rejection all the time. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to sit somewhere in a dark room and be brave and comment something nasty and ignorant on someone's video, go for it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, so bring it on. Here are a few of my favorite troll comments. I got a lot of variations on, "It's just the flu." To everyone who thinks this is just the flu, please read something. I actually started responding with an article from Johns Hopkins about the key differences between influenza and COVID-19. They're caused by two completely different viruses. They have different contagion rates, they have different death rates, they have different symptoms, the list goes on. I will link that in the description below. If you're tempted to tell me that I had the flu, just read it first. It's exhausting trying to explain to people who haven't done the research that this is not the flu, because it's not the flu. I will also ask this question. Do you really want to be the one responsible for killing grandma after hugging her at a crowded family barbecue because you refuse to accept the fact that COVID-19 is real, it's highly contagious, and carries deadly respiratory symptoms that are nothing like the flu? That's a rhetorical question, although if you feel you must answer it, go for it. I'll go back to doing bad impressions of Disney princesses. I'd like to remind her that Elsa is actually a queen, who later became a god. I also got a lot of variations of course you survived, you're young and healthy. Yeah, okay. If you read all of the stories that have shown up on my video, you'll understand that everyone who has recovered from COVID-19 is a survivor, and we're all extremely lucky to be here. I'll give you an example. Nick Cordero is a Canadian Broadway star, and he's from Hamilton, about 30 minutes from where I live. Nick has been in the hospital for almost 90 days. He's 41 years old. He has been on a ventilator. He has had his leg amputated. He has suffered from septic shock. He has had to be put on dialysis and a temporary pacemaker. Young and healthy doesn't mean a whole lot. Maybe it increases your chances of survival, but we really have no idea why it kills some people and why other people survive. So if the term survivor bothers you, deal with it. I've gotten a few variations on "you're a liar." I don't even know where to start on that one. These are my test results. I submitted a nasopharyngeal specimen on March 28th, and on March 30th, my specimen was tested. And the results are listed as positive for COVID-19. I'm not sure what else to say about this, other than humans did land on the moon in 1969. The Holocaust was a real thing that happened, and the Earth is round. And that is my update. Thank you to everybody who commented on my video with their well wishes, their stories, their questions. I'd even like to thank the trolls for reminding me that it's important to stay educated, well-informed, and open to new ideas and opinions. It's kind of the only way we're gonna get through this together. For everyone who's sick right now, keep fighting the good fight. It will get better, I promise. Keep your distance, keep monitoring your symptoms. Don't listen to trolls. Stay informed and stay safe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.